Are you focused on doing all the things? Are you a woman or male corporate leader who literally sees a shiny object and starts to chase it, thinking only later, what am I doing? This isn't really where I'm supposed to be focused. I think this is a lot of us, myself included, where there's so many things to be following, so many things to be focused on. And we all know now in the day and age of social media, it's so easy to find and go after the next shiny object, the big thing, the next thing, whatever the thing is. And if this is you, then this episode is really tailored for what to look for and how to shift that. Because here's the thing, if you are following all the things or focused on all the things, chances are you might not be having time or feeling focused for the things that you really want to do or that are really worth your time. What do you think? Let's talk about it. The first thing I want to say is if you are one of those folks who feels like you're focused on all the things, to take a breath, literally just take a breath. Whew, relaxing, breathe out. Yes, smile, maybe even. And be curious about this. What is this for you? You don't need to ask the question why. Like, why am I focusing on these things? Because why typically is more of a question that leads to more defensiveness. Like, you'll want to just give yourself a reason, right? So don't worry about why. Be curious. Be like, wow, that's interesting. I notice every day I put a to-do list together and then I have 5 other things I want to do that aren't even on the list that I'm focused on. I'm making this up, but you get what I mean. So being curious about that. Well, that's interesting. These weren't on my radar yesterday. Why am I interested in this today? And there's a couple of reasons, and I'm going to get into that. So I think the first and foremost, the biggest reason I think we like to focus on all the things or just do a whole bunch of different things is that we have a general fear. And you might not like what I'm about to tell you, but hear me out and bear with me. Fear is all around us. I work with emotions. They're huge in our world as leaders and run our day to day. We're designed to feel. And yet, how much time are we actively spending noticing how we feel and even naming a feeling or wondering what's going on underneath our actions and how we're feeling? So, fear is one of the 5 primary feelings that I work with and talk about and help people learn about, help leaders learn about, because if we get familiar with how it feels in our body, then we start to know when we're running on fear and when we're not. And you might know that innately. We all do, right? Where you might feel at ease and calm. And that's great. And there's other times when we don't feel those things, but we're jumping from one thing to the next, to the next, to the next. Same thing for focusing on one thing to the next, to the next. I think a big reason why that happens sometimes is that there's this underlying fear that isn't even recognized, where we're afraid to slow down or pause or stop or just focus on one thing because the fear is maybe we do miss out. FOMO, fear of missing out, live and well. Well, what's on the other side of that? Well, I don't know. I better go do that because if I don't, then I might miss out. And I'm laughing because I get that one. Like, holy cow, who doesn't feel that way? But here's the thing, if we feel that way, chances are we're just being run by fear. We're not trusting ourselves to be in the moment, to be still, to just be okay with what's so, which might be an unease, it might be discomfort, knowing I don't know what I'm doing with this thing I'm supposed to be doing, but I feel a little scared. I feel a little anxious. So know that's happening on some level potentially. That's a big reason why I think we jump from one thing to the next. And the other thing I think, and this one really relates to me, by the way, I really get this one, is that it's really hard to be present. In other words, it's really easy to jump from one thing to the next, because then I don't have to worry and deal with myself. And these are really hard truths, by the way, right? Like these aren't easy things to digest. These are profound concepts I'm talking about. But as a leader, I know you can handle it. I know you are in the inquiry of this, and otherwise you wouldn't be listening. Yeah? Are you with me? So what if the presence was just knowing how you feel? You see how these are connected? Oh, I just feel fear that I'm going to miss out. Or I feel fear that if I don't do these 5 things, I'm going to fall behind. Or if I don't do these things that I want to do, then I won't look or be as knowledgeable. These are all various versions of the same thing, which is literally, boy, I'm going to blow my own mind here. Yeah, it could be many things, but there are core beliefs there underneath that, which things like I'm not enough. So I got to keep filling my plate because I'm not enough. So I have to keep doing things. like frantic mode, and the fear is too much. So I have to keep busy. I write about this in Pause the Book, the busifying our lives, because it's way easier to find stuff to fill our basket, so to speak, than it is to just be present with ourselves, to know who I am, to know I'm okay with my flaws or my baggage or whatever I have as my human self. Whew, yeah, take a deep breath into that one. So, where are you on the spectrum of focusing on all the things? And remember, this is about being kind and really having that self empathy for yourself, too, where you can be gentle with yourself and curious and ask yourself, well, that's interesting. Yeah, I know I love buying these extra things and these gadgets. Like they're really entertaining for me, or whatever it is. Taking the latest class, right? How many of us have bought whatever program or book and they're just on the shelf? As I've heard, shelf help, because we just don't have time to continue to follow up and we'd rather just pretend we're going to do something, not that we're pretending, we think we're going to actually do it, but then it just doesn't happen. So the question is, now that you kind of know about what happens, and the key is to know how to do it differently. Because here's the thing, focus on all the things. Is it satisfying for you? Is that working? My guess is it's not really ideal. You get the dopamine hits. I get that. You get the squirts. Whoop, whoop, like fast and rewarded self. That's amazing. But do they last? They probably don't last. And then you go just do it again and you're back in that vicious cycle. So, how do you stay focused and not do all the things? So, the first thing is to be present. Just know how you feel. Name one of the feelings. That's a great way to start. Use your senses. Look outside the window. What colors do you see? What are you hearing? What are you feeling? Maybe the chair underneath you. Is it hot? Is it cold? The shoes that you're wearing. What are you smelling? What do you have still lingering in your mouth if you just ate? When we get into the sensory perception, using the five senses, we're able to switch into a mode to be present. Naming a feeling is one of the strongest and easiest ways to be present because you have to be in your body to feel. It's a profound practice. And so you might notice, oh gosh, like I just feel angry. Like I'm just mad. And maybe that anger is turned towards you. I'm angry at me because I'm wasting all this time. I don't want to be here. This totally sucks. I'm such a jerk. Blah, 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 blah. Okay. So if you notice that, if that's you, good to notice. You don't need to stay there. The critic mind has a mind of its own. You don't have to believe your thoughts, as I've heard a few different times and from different thought leaders I've followed. Daniel Goleman's the one I'm thinking of right now. You don't have to believe your thoughts, is what he says. So to stay focused, it's requiring you to be present and remember your why. So here's where the why matters, right? So why is this number one thing on your to-do list there? Well, this is going to tell the team what I'm up to and help validate the budget requests that I've made and have the rest of the year be successful, right? Maybe it's a report or something you're doing. I don't know. Maybe it's something you're buying, like it's a cruise, right? Why does it matter? Well, I want to enjoy time with my mom. Well, she's still here and we go away together. Whatever that is. The key is to know, usually when we're just scattered, there's a fear there. We're not willing to face something. Maybe we're procrastinating. There's something else. And generally there's a fear there to do it too, because we're scared we might fail. And there's so much there, you guys. All right. So what are you getting from this? I could talk all day about this because I think we can all relate in some way. We're either over-indexed and focused too much. We all have been there, or we're under-indexed and we're not doing anything. So I don't know what spectrum side you're on, but the reality is know that you can stay focused and that will so serve you. It'll so serve you because those are the things that you want to do. You'll feel better. You'll be happier. You'll have more joy because that's what you did. And you'll be more present to experience it. You'll be in your body. You'll resonate. And then there might be fear with it and you're okay in the fear. That's what's really interesting is you don't have to run away from it anymore and fill up your agenda. You could say, oh my God, I'm really terrified right now. I don't know what's going to happen. I have no idea if this is going to go well, but I'm ready to ride it out. I'm willing to try. I'm willing to do, as Yoda says. There is no try, just do. Or something like that, I think he says. All right, so now you've got the formula, how to stay focused and not do all the things. Number one, get present. There's different ways to do that. Number two, be curious, know your why. Why does it matter for you? And three, know the feeling, right? Like what's going on if there is fear, if there's anger, navigating that. And this is the hard part, right? Because that's the stuff that takes the skills. That's the emotional intelligence skills that you can build. And that's what I'm here to tell you is that it is freaking possible for you to do that. We can all build these skills because I know if I've done it, this used to be me, then you can do it. I know you can do it. And I'm here to support you with two hands, open armed, and walk you through because no one can do it alone. These are new skills. And we're not usually taught this. I don't know about you, but no one taught me how to not to focus on all the things. No way, Jose. I mean, I had to focus on all the things and burn out and fail really bad and then that's how I learned because I started studying this stuff on my own. When I had a coach and I had a whole team and I got support and then I did my master's and then I did the coaching and all of this stuff. So I'm here to tell you, my friend, this is your time. You're able to do this. And I'm so excited for you to do that. So let's get started. I'm glad you got this little taste of what's possible for you. Let's talk. Let's get you going. I'm so excited to support you. Just reply back. Let me know you're interested. I'm happy to step in and help you close that gap. Much love, and I'll talk to you soon.